Hey y'all, what's up? Chad Wright coming to you here once again on the channel, Team Righteous, and today got the Hayabusa hat, Hayabusa shirt, and the Gen 3 Hayabusa over here on the dyno. So we're about to see just what this thing right here can make. So we got it up here on the dyno. We've been getting it through the progression just to get everything turned off that needs to be turned off, so we can make some power on this thing right here. So we're gonna see just how much power this thing can make in its stock form. So previously we put the Rock's Logan strap on the bike. It's got a Sprint P08 F185 air filter in it, the one that you can see through, and has the Brock's full CT single side exhaust on this bike right here, and also got a Brock's window link on it as well. So got a few little Brock's mods on it. If you're looking to save some money on Brock's, drop down in the description below. You'll see the links and the code Team Righteous 5 to be able to save some money on those parts that you order through Brock's. But anyways, let's get this thing right here running on the dyno, see what our baseline is, and then we're gonna see what we can get out of it once we start tuning this thing right here through the ECU. Just made that baseline pull here on the Gen 3, trying to see where we're at. So looking at the numbers, it's falling about in par with what everybody else's is when they're in stock form with the exhaust and the Sprint air filter. So we made 110 foot-pounds of torque and 176 horsepower on this thing right here. So and as you can see there, fuel ratio is kind of all over the place, but we're going to be able to correct that. We're going to go over here into the ECU and we're going to flash it, tune it. We're going to change the fuel curve in there, correct all that with there, put our magic touches on the timing to get it just right, and we're going to see just how much power we can get out of this thing right here. So we'll see what we can do. So we made some changes to the thing right here, starting to get some more numbers out of it. So let's see if we're getting in the direction we were trying to go. Alright y'all, here we go. So we got the tune done here on pump gas on the Gen 3 Hayabusa. Ended up making some really good gains and everything on this thing. So I'm gonna flip it around here, let y'all see just what we ended up getting out of it, where we started off at and what we ended up with. So initially we started off with 110.4 foot-pounds of torque and 176.4 horsepower at 9,600 RPMs. So you can see our torque here, and you kind of see it's got some whoops to it and everything too, got some dips in it and everything. And then as all Gen 3s, you'll notice they do reach their peak horsepower at 9,600 here, right in that range, and then they just start falling off. And that's because of the cams, the way they were designed. It's also because of the velocity stacks that are in the airbox. So they do have longer velocity stacks across the board, which also promotes lower end torque to make more power down low. So anyways, like I said, I just want to show y'all that's where we started off at. So I'm gonna switch it around here now and show y'all the gains that we ended up making. Like I said, we made 110 foot-pounds of torque, 176 horsepower on the base run. So now, where are we at? Well, now we're making 113.9 foot-pounds of torque. So it's 3.5 foot-pounds of torque gained down through here. And as you can see, this is much smoother through here. Coming through here, the curve is much smoother and it's carrying out further. So our peak horsepower is 187.3 horsepower at 9,850 RPM. So it's carrying it out. So it's carrying the RPM out, or the horsepower out further now that we got the tune in there. A little bit further, not that much further. It's still 10 grand is about all they've got. So once you get past 10 grand, they start to fall off. It's just not going to carry out like your Gen 2s did. But like I said, we really made some good gains here. So made 3.5 foot-pounds of torque gain in the mid-range, and then up top we ended up gaining 11 horsepower with it. So now though, y'all smell that? That's MR12. We got some MR12 in here. We're about to see what this thing here can really do. Y'all check this out. Really good there. See what this old girl can do. Alright, y'all, so gotta go in here and make some more changes on this thing here. We picked up a couple of more horsepower on it, but as you can see, as it's starting to lean out, it is still starting to, the horsepower is just not carrying out like it should. So we're gonna go here and change this fuel up some more and see if we can get some more out of this thing. So we're getting close on this MR12 tune. Starting to make some good power. Let's see if we can get just a little bit more out of it though. I got a feeling we can. All right, y'all, so here we are. We got the final numbers in. We got the MR12 dialed in. Making good horsepower. We ended up making some good gains with it, and really happy with these numbers right here, especially the torque numbers. I think y'all are going to be pretty shocked at this right here. So let me flip it around here and let y'all see it. So we made 117.7 foot-pounds of torque and 193 horsepower. So all in all, got to say, not too bad. We're very proud with the numbers that we ended up making here. And so as you can see here, like I said, we made 117.7 there, 193 horsepower total. Sorry, the screen there doesn't really like the camera and all that stuff out there. They don't really work too well whenever you're trying to do that. But hopefully you can see what I was trying to show you there. And just like it was before on pump gas, once it makes that peak horsepower, it doesn't really hold it out. So about the best thing that you could do to try to carry it out. So you're going to lose some of that low down torque that you got there, but if you wanted to be able to carry it out, the horsepower further out, you could put stacks in there. Some people have tried those already, and like I said, it loses down in the mid-range and gains up top. But I'm going to turn it back over here again and show you. We've had a Gen 2 on here on MR12. It had a Brock Sidewinder with a baffle in it. and it had short stacks in it. So I'm gonna pull up those numbers now and let y'all see exactly what it made then. All right, so I'm fixing to show y'all these Gen 2 boosted numbers here. So torque, it was definitely down on torque. It only made 112 foot-pounds of torque, and it made 194 horsepower. So you're down 5.5 foot-pounds of torque in the mid-range, and that's where you normally ride at on the street or whatever. So for the most part, you're really going to notice that if you're out riding on the street. Now up top, where you're pulling all the way to red line on the Gen 3 here, if you pull all the way to the red line, you're kind of wasting your time. You're not really gaining anything from it. You're not really going to be getting anything better from it from pulling that far. Where on the Gen 2, you can pull it all the way to red line and it's going to continue making peak power, especially once we put those short stacks in there. So like I said, we made 194 horsepower at 10,500. So it's like roughly 800 RPMs later that's making its peak horsepower. And that's mainly because of the cams. You know, the cams are designed that way. The cams are designed that way to make more peak torque down low, and then the velocity stacks are longer. Everything about the Gen 3 here was designed to be more, to have more grunt down low, to have more power down low. But as far as, you know, the advertisement, I think was advertised that it was down like 3 or 4 horsepower or whatever, but it had more torque. I'm seeing that it's, maybe it's down 8 horsepower or 2, but down low in the mid-range out on the street, the Gen 3 is going to run away from the Gen 2. It's just how it's going to be. But yeah, so you made, like I said, 194 horsepower here. It's it actually took off 194. I just didn't get it directly on there. It's got a little bit further to go. It still keeps climbing right there. And then, like I said, over here, you made 112 foot-pounds of torque. Now, unfortunately, as y'all know, our dyno doesn't allow us to overlay graphs currently, so I can't overlay them, but I can go through some of the steps here or whatever and let you know. The Gen 3 here also makes that peak torque at 7,000 RPMs, where the Gen 3 or Gen 2 made it at 8,000 RPMs. So it's going to make it even sooner in the RPM band as well. Basically, everything shifted about 1,000 RPM sooner. So it makes more peak torque. It makes it sooner, and then the horsepower is on par with the Gen 2. Like I said, if you could get them side by side or whatever on the street, Gen 3 is probably going to run away from it. And even on the track, I think that with a good tune and probably the same mods, if you had an alien head on here or whatever, an alien head has been proven to even make more horsepower as well than the CT single does. So there's more to be gained from this right here. So anyways, we appreciate all of y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed seeing the Gen 3 here on the dyno. If you're looking to get your ECU flash for your Gen 3, whether that be on pump gas or on MR12, we can do either one, but it is only one map. It's not like the Gen 2s where we can't tune multiple maps in the Gen 3 ECU. It just doesn't allow us to do it. There's not an option for it in Woolwich for us to be able to do it. Maybe they'll come out with that later, but they never did with the 1000, so I doubt they'll mess with this right here anymore, other than getting some more options in there that we can mess with on a few things. So anyways, but if you're looking to get your ECU flash, be sure to look down in the description below. We have information on there for how you can get in contact with us. And if you're looking to save some money on your Brock's exhaust, like we got on here, the Sprint air filter that we got in here, or anything else from Brock's Performance, be sure to check out the link down below. Use the discount code TeamRighteous5, save 5% on your goodies, and you'll be able to get that stuff there shipped to you in the mail. Appreciate all of y'all. Have a good one.